Going live, and we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the DC Metro Area Google Educator Group week number 4. Our topic this week will be all about Twitter and our personalized learning networks, or PLN, building up our PLNs. So, we have a wonderful panel in front of us, so we're just going to go down the line and introduce ourselves. I guess we'll start all the way on my left. Alicia?
I'm Alicia Bell. I'm currently in Pensacola, Florida, in the Panhandle, also known as LA or Lower Alabama. I've been teaching for 9 years now, and I just finished my master's in technology education last week.
Excellent. Congratulations. Woo. That's phenomenal. So it looks like Ashley stepped away, so we'll come back to her. But Carla?
Hi, I'm Carla Jefferson. I'm a 6th grade English language arts teacher in South Carolina. It gets blurry. I think this is year 17 or 18 for me, and I'm really excited to be here.
Okay, great. Welcome back. Welcome back. We have our co-moderator in the house, Charity.
Hi, I'm Charity Harbeck. I'm a high school library media specialist / tech coordinator / tech coach in Calvert County, Maryland. And how long have I been doing this? I don't know. A while.
Right, absolutely. And then next up we have Dr. Will.
Hello, everyone. Dr. Will from Mississippi, district instructional technologist, digital learning consultant. Finally got my first check. I work with teachers across the district, 8 schools, teaching them how to use various technology tools.
Wonderful. And last but not least, let's go with Ashley.
Hey, how are you? I'm Ashley Hurley. I'm a PD specialist in North Carolina, and I just help teachers mainly with literacy, but really trying to help them see how they can incorporate technology purposefully as part of their literacy instruction.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So welcome everybody to the group, to the panel. So just a couple of housekeeping things. Let me just share my screen for a second. And we're going to go back to the leaderboard here. I'm sure everybody will see their name. So that is our leaderboard for the current week. So as you can see, we have Carla, who has 53 points. Congratulations, Carla! Woo! Carla has leveled up, so yay! Good job, Carla. How's it feel to be our first GEG DMV white belt?
It feels so amazing. I'd just like to thank the Academy for all of their hard work and dedication.
Oh, man, that is amazing. But, yeah, you've been putting in a lot of really good work, and so has everybody in the group. So kudos to everybody. As Carla has reached 50 points, she is now officially a white belt, and once she gets closer to 100, then she will get her first piece of swag that has already been ordered, so it's coming to you when she hit that 100-point mark. And for everybody else, just keep putting in those points, get to 50, be a white belt, get to 100, get a prize. So keep up all the good work. So this week we're going to launch week 4, which is all about Twitter and building up a personalized learning network. So I'm going to ask everybody in the panel, if you all could just kind of tell us what was your journey to get onto Twitter and to get connected. So I guess I'll go the other way this time. So Dr. Will, how did you get on Twitter?
I heard about it on the news. I was watching MSNBC a lot, and I would hear people talk about it, and so I just said, well, let me jump on. And when I first got on, that's when Twitter had that, like, what are you doing now type of thing, and I was like, well, I'm about to eat some toast, or I'm having a cup of tea, and then I was like, this is stupid, and I just started trying to have conversations with people, and then that's when it sort of clicked for me, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. I'm going to stay here a while.
It's nice. Very, very cool. What about you, Charity?
Well, I got on pretty early. I'm like in the 90-something percentile, before everybody else, because I'd read it in like School Library Journal or something similar. But like a lot of people in like a lot of schools, I joined it and then I just left it. And I think that big part of that was I wasn't connected to anybody, so it wasn't very useful. So I think I started using it in 2010. I went to ISTE in Denver, and I went to I don't know, a tweet up or something, one of those little informal meetups, and so I got some people to follow, and some people showed me TweetDeck and different things. So yeah, the more you build your PLN, the more useful it is, and boy, I get a lot of stuff from there now.
Absolutely, it's full of great information. And what about you, Carla? How did you connect?
I actually had a request from, I was going through my master's program, and one of my classmates sent me a request. So I joined, and I followed, like, the Redskins, because I'm a Redskins fan, and the Lakers. And so I had, like, what? Don't hate. Do not, please do not hate on royalty. But so that's all I had was, like, Redskin, and I was like, how does this work? This is like Dr. Will, this is stupid. So like I left it alone for a long time, and then I decided, well, my brother joined and friends joined, and when I started back teaching, because I spent 4 years out of the classroom in a facilitator role, and I said, okay, I'll create a professional Twitter account for parents so that they can see what the kids were doing. And then I realized that there was this huge network of educators who were sharing ideas, having conversations, growing and learning, and so I've been addicted to it ever since. I mean, I check Twitter like first, well, Voxer first now, and then Twitter every morning. And so I've been encouraging my coworkers and those who are around me to join and to engage, because all of the neat things I found, just like Charity said, I'm finding them on Facebook. When I learned about Kahoot, Socrative, all of those things. So it's just a wonderful tool that I'm addicted to.
That is phenomenal. There's a lot of great things on there. So Ashley, what was your journey to becoming connected and to using Twitter?
Well, I too was a Twitter quitter. I got an account and I tweeted a little bit, and I don't think I looked at it as something that wasn't meaningful, but I just didn't have that network yet that I have interaction. I just would put things out there, or I might take things, but there wasn't that interactivity, and so I don't think I had that draw. And it wasn't until the hashtag EdChat really came into my life that I started to be more of a, and I think even still is more of a taker, or I might put something out there, and I can remember tweeting things and being really nervous, like, oh gosh, I hope I said that right. Almost like your blog, your first blog, you kind of feel vulnerable, like, I hope nobody thinks I'm crazy for saying that. But I have to tell you, the first time, I had been tweeting for a while and participating in chats, and even started moderating a chat or two. And I think the most validating moment for me was when I allowed myself to be a tad bit vulnerable. I spoke to my overzealousness about EdTech. And because I'm an accidental techie, it's not my job. I just try to find ways to make things real and relevant for people. And I spoke to that, and I said, sometimes people sort of look at me strange, or look at me like I don't even get ready, like I'm totally on the computer. I don't even take time to get ready for the day. I'm ready just to jump in with my PLN. I've been on since Sunchat this morning, so so I have this passion about it. And so I made a comment about that one night on Twitter, and somebody wrote back, "Me too," and just those 2 words, "Me too," like knowing there's somebody out there in this virtual world that's still completely real, even though it's virtual, that totally understands where I'm coming from, that totally doesn't care that I brush my hair or not today. They just totally get it. That is what really, really drew me in and just took it to that whole new level of connectedness, and then that's just what it's about. And so that has really just propelled me even further. Somebody likened it to the rabbit hole of Twitter, but I just look at it as it's just elevated my practice. I was just speaking to the other day as far as my journey goes, and it has reawakened a passion in me, but it's also ignited a passion in me for teaching and learning that I didn't know existed within me. So that's kind of where I am on my Twitter journey. So, yeah.
Okay. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. And what about you, Alicia?
Well, Twitter for me started out really personal. I followed celebrities and just, fun accounts, just something fun to look at. And it was this past summer when I was finishing up my master's that my professor was pushing me to connect with educators outside of my district. And because the school I'm at, not very many people like technology, I felt kind of like on my own island. And Twitter for me became my way of connecting with people outside of my district who weren't as passionate about technology as I was. I went to a conference at our district where people who love technology got connected, and I started following a bunch of those people on Twitter, and my network started to grow, but it still wasn't as big as I was hoping it would be. And then I found Edmodo Chat, and just like Ashley, just getting involved in those chats. I did Edmodo Chat and Flip Class Chat, and I started doing Florida Ed Chat, and it exploded overnight. I started connecting with some amazing people, and for me, especially personally, it was really helpful because I was at a point in my career where I was like, I'm still kind of like going well, or I was really frustrated, and being involved with these educators was really invigorating. I started to get really excited about teaching again. I started sharing this information with people outside of my professional learning network, and that got them excited, which got me excited, because I'm like, okay, this isn't, you know, just raining on a parade kind of thing anymore. It's like people are actually getting involved. But the best part is that I'm learning so much cool stuff from people that I've never even met, people that I don't know if I'll ever meet them in person, but it's so amazing to have so many resources at my fingertips. I went from like 4 favorites to like 6,000 favorites overnight on Twitter, just as a bookmarking tool so that I can go back and look for it later. And I'm so glad I got involved with Twitter especially. And now it's like I've started to unfollow a bunch of accounts I don't follow anymore, and it's more just educators pretty much in my stream, and Twitter's become the educational tool for me. I've never been a Facebook fan. I've never really enjoyed Facebook, so for me it's Twitter. And people are like, "Oh, you're on Facebook?" I'm like, "No, Twitter's where it's at. You need Twitter." So, Twitter.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hey, I have to mention that you said Edmodo Chat. That's how Sarah and I met. We volunteered to moderate in Edmodo Chat. So, yeah, and then also Sarah wanted me to mention, I think I put it in the chat. I don't know if you guys have the group chat up on your right, because I like to type things in there while we're doing the Hangout. And I mentioned that educators are the #1 largest group on Twitter.
Wow.
In fact, Twitter has considered making a Twitter just for educators even.
Oh, wow.
I know that because I have a friend whose husband works for Twitter.
Wow.
Nice.
That is amazing. Yeah, I saw that article come out as well, and it's phenomenal. Like, my journey to Twitter, it was very similar to a lot of what you all were saying when you went on there, follow celebrities, things of that nature. That's how I started out. I had my own little account, and I started following like running people, getting some good running advice, because, you know, I just started out running when I was like 27-ish or whatever. And then, you know, I went to an ed conference, and for the very first time, I heard them talk about the hashtag. And so I wanted to tweet out stuff, but I was just like, okay, well, nobody can see it because my account's on private, because, you know, I say whatever's on my mind. So that's when Sarah the Teacher was born. So from there, you know, it was totally dedicated to education. And, you know, I'm just so glad that that I got on Twitter and got a PLN. So let me ask you all this. Have any of you used Twitter in the classroom or educationally? And if not, then do you have any ideas for someone who might be interested in doing that?
I can't. It's blocked at my school.
Oh, yeah.
It's blocked at our school as well, but I do have a classroom account, and so when I get home, I tweet pictures, and we follow other classrooms, and we participate in the Global Read Aloud. So the kids will write the tweets out, and I'll tweet them, you know, once I get off school campus, because we live like our school is like in the boondocks, so there's no cell phone service until I walk out the building. One of the things that I'm pushing for this year, because we have a new superintendent who is a little more open to social media, and he is looking at our proposal now to open it for our school, at least so that teachers can take pictures of things that are going on in their classroom and tweet them out, and we have a joint, you know, a school hashtag, because we don't get a chance to see other teachers' classrooms because we're in ours a lot of the time. And so everybody's doing all of these amazing things, and it will give, you know, all of us ideas to share if that's possible. So fingers crossed for that.
Absolutely. Best wishes. I hope that your superintendent opens it up to you. Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a teacher, so I don't have any students, but my wife has a Twitter account for her classroom, and her students, and if they have doing a Skype thing with an expert or something, you know, they'll do some back channeling, and she's tweeted out pictures of things going on in her classroom. And oddly enough, our superintendent during our convocation actually mentioned Twitter and told teachers you need to become self-directed learners and get on Twitter and talks about the people he followed. And then he said, hey, let's have a discussion about convocation. This is our hashtag. And that happened. And I was like, what? And so that was awesome.
Yeah, at our school, Twitter is blocked as well. We don't have access to it. But one thing I'm really excited is that our school this year just started a BYOD policy, so they're finally allowing students to use the cell phones. I've always broken the rules and let them use their cell phones in class anyway for education and stuff, but we won't be able to use Twitter during the day, but similar to what you guys were saying about the hashtag, I was planning this year to kind of try and gamify my classroom by using the hashtag and having students like type out what they've learned that day or something exciting that they figured out or something they want to share about what we learned in school that day. And anytime someone hashtag on Twitter puts it out there, they can earn points towards gamifying. And I thought that would be a great way for students to connect outside of the classroom too. Because, in school they get to see each other and they get to talk collaboratively. Or those kids who aren't as comfortable talking collaboratively in class, they might feel more comfortable doing it online. So it gives them an opportunity to do it outside of classes.
Right, that's definitely true. Twitter is a way to definitely get the introverts more engaged, and it works that way for adults as well. Social media gives a voice to the voiceless a lot of times. Yeah.
One of the things that I want to share that I found is that teachers will buy in, or probably anybody will buy into something if they see how it will benefit them and how it's helpful for them. So 21 teachers from my district went to FlipCon this summer, and so we created a hashtag for us as we were attending the conference. So even though we weren't sitting on the sessions, if someone heard an amazing quote or an idea, they tweeted it out with the hashtag. So for curation. But a lot of them did not have Twitter accounts, and they did not see the benefit of Twitter until FlipCon, and they followed the FlipCon hashtag, and they followed our district FlipCon hashtag, and then they really got a chance to see how that. I always laugh. A lot of people around here think that social media is the devil because they only see the negative side. They see parents arguing on Facebook or kid drama, and they don't see the benefit of it if you get away from that type of thing and over to the professional side. So I think that's definitely, if you're struggling with that, that's the way I'm going to parlay it with my teachers. And thanks to Sarah's great ideas, we're gamifying Tech PD this year. So part of their points would be to join Twitter, to tweet the things that are going on in their classroom, to share that information out. So I think between the swag and the status and the benefits, I think that we'll definitely see a change.
Yeah.
And Carla, I like what you just said about that, just like showing the relevance and showing the importance. And and we have to differentiate, I think, for our colleagues, just like we do for our students. I mean, not everybody is ready just to jump on, and showing that importance is critical. And I wanted to speak to something else that you said. I heard this on SatChat, because they use, we have SatChat on Saturday mornings, and then they'll use Voxer as a way to kind of extend the conversation. And a couple of ideas that I heard schools were using is they've got like a flat screen TV in the main office, and they'll run Tagboard, or they'll run TweetBeam, and they'll have a school hashtag, and then the teachers can and the students sometimes, if it's allowable, can tweet, or maybe they have like a classroom account, they can tweet out things that are happening in their classrooms, and those things will pop up in the main office. So just showing how it does kind of bring the community together, I think speaks to some of the things you guys have mentioned. But I think you're right, just showing the relevance, and a lot of times people say, oh, where'd you get that? And I'm like, oh, Twitter. And now people will kind of fill in the sentence. They're like, oh, you found that on Twitter, didn't you? Because they're like, yeah, because people are sharing out great ideas all the time, and you just have to go and get them. And I like what Dr. Will was saying about being that self-directed learner, owning your learning. And it's never been easier or a better time to be a teacher and a learner than now. It's so easy. I mean, there's no excuse not to be. I mean, we have so much at our fingertips for free. you know. And I just read Digital Leadership by Eric Sheninger, and he says, we could go it alone, but why would we want to do that? Why would we want to do this? Learning is social. And another colleague made the comment about how life is a group project. Why are we going to try to do all this by ourselves when we can have much more fun and do a much better job when we do it together? So totally appreciating what you're saying about, and I love the approach you're taking for gamifying, and just bringing that aspect of the learning into it as well.
Yeah, but to go beyond the showing teachers the benefits, you have to walk them through sort of the process, because the greatest drawback in using Twitter is the fact that it takes time to build that network, that community.
True.
And when you first tell teachers, get on Twitter and find out some amazing stuff, and they get out there and they start tweeting stuff, and especially if they don't use hashtags, they're just tweeting out into the ether and no one is responding to them, and they're like, well, why am I here? What is all this goodness you're talking about? And so they have to understand that you have to take time in building networks with people, using hashtags, starting conversations with people, engaging people, and until that network grows. And then you can sort of then go out there and just say, hey, I'm looking for such and such tool, and you have that network out there that can come back and respond to you.
One great way to teach the teachers how to do that in a quick way is to use Vine. I saw a teacher from Edmodo who does that, where he shows teachers how to use certain parts of the website with a 6-second Vine, like here's how to do this with this group, click, 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 and there you go. And you could do the same thing on Twitter with a Vine, or you could teach a teacher, here's how to follow a hashtag, click, click, here you go. And it's quick, it's easy, it's accessible, and Vines can be embedded in a tweet, so you don't have to have the Vine app to be able to watch it.
That is fantastic. I love that idea. I never thought of using Vine that way. That is phenomenal. Wow. So let me ask you guys another question. I've heard a few of you mention Twitter chat. So could someone please say what a Twitter chat is? I know that Ashley, you run one. Charity, you've done a few as well. You do a few as well. Let me see. So anybody who just wants to talk about what a Twitter chat is, how does it work?
Sure, I can speak to that. Well, and we can also, Sarah, do you have the Cybrarian's Twitter chat schedule on the GEG on the community page?
Let me go ahead and add it to the showcase right now.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And it's extremely comprehensive, and that's a great way to find hashtags to follow as well. So you don't have to actively be in the chat to contribute to those hashtags or follow those hashtags. But chats have been helpful for me because I'm able to interact with people all around the globe, around a particular topic. And so typically, and the best advice I could give to somebody who's new is, especially if you're going to one that's really popular, like SatChat or SunChat, or there are a couple that are happening tonight that are like Text EDU Chat or 21st Ed Chat. There are several applications or tools you can use to follow the hashtag and adjust the speed of the chat, because some people get turned off because the conversation just flies. It goes so quickly, and it can be kind of a turn off. And you see the question, you're trying to formulate your answer, and then by the time you have something to say, and I think I have to carry you guys upstairs because my sweetheart husband is vacuuming. Isn't that great? So hashtag vacuum. Anyway, you have to, by the time you formulate an answer, like the moment's gone. So but the way that chats are helpful is because you can be like in the moment having conversations with people from all over the world. And the best advice too is finding an application that will slow the chat down if it's a really popular one that moves fast. But secondly, maybe just researching. Some people call it lurking, but I think that sounds kind of creepy, so I say researching. And just research and just follow a few for a while. Just lurk. Just watch how they happen. And because nobody's going to know you're there if you're new unless you tweet something. And they're really not going to know you're there unless you include the hashtag. So but they typically run like a question-answer format, and I don't want to take all the answers away from what other panelists will say, but it's just a great way to to have a live interaction with people. But the nice thing is it can be archived, and you can go back and reflect and respond later. So just a nice way to connect with people worldwide.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, all you.
You mentioned the archive. That's what I was going to pick up on if she didn't mention it, is that I coached high school swimming during the fall season, so I know I'm going to miss chats for pretty much the month of September, October. But the archive is a great way to catch up on a chat if you haven't gotten a chance to sit in, and for new people, too, who can't participate for whatever reason, because I had a lot of people who were following me, and they're like, how do you know when to go to that chat? And I included it on the resources page for you, Sarah, but there was an image I found. It was just a list of all the chats throughout the United States, because almost every state has their own chat. But being able to go back and just look through the archive so you can get some ideas, and then when you feel comfortable enough to be able to join in on that conversation, you can just add. And one of the programs I use is TweetChat. It doesn't slow it down like Ashley mentioned, but for me it's a great way to keep track of the chat itself. It's got a box at the top and you can put yours in there, and you don't have to type out the hashtag. It just automatically adds it for you, which is really nice. And it includes the character count, so you know if you're going to go over. But it also has buttons on the right-hand side, so if you want to follow somebody real quick, or if you want to do a direct message with somebody you are following, it's just and it's a separate website, and you just sign in with your. But it's a great way to follow the conversation. The first time I did a tweet chat was on my phone, and I think it was like 30 minutes in the chat before I realized I was still answering question number 1. People were all like, weirdo. So using an outside client is probably the best way to follow a chat. At least I recommend that.
Yeah, I have tried TweetChat, but it just doesn't appeal to me, though I know a lot of people like to use it. My favorite way is to use TweetDeck or Hootsuite that allow you to have columns, across the way, so that I can have within my visual I can see the hashtag and I can see mentions to me, and someone suggested to me, and I find this helpful. I put a column just for the moderator, because when they're moving really fast, you miss the question. So, if you do a column just for the moderator, then it's easy to find the question again if you miss it. And then when I have moderated, we generally use Storify, if you're familiar with that, to archive the chat afterwards, and then put that link somewhere so that people can, just have that link accessed. In fact, I even created a Symbaloo of Storify. For Smarty, we do for Smart Exemplary Educators, we do a chat, and I created a Symbaloo, so I put those links to the Storifys in the Symbaloo, so we have this one giant central place of all of our chats that people can look back if they like.
Mm-hmm. And another great idea is to find your tribe, so to speak, because there's a lot of chats out. There's a lot of there's a lot of chats out there, and so don't get overwhelmed by trying to be in every chat. Pick one or two that you really like and sort of stick with that, and not try to be in every one, because you'll lose yourself and you'll go crazy trying to do it.
Absolutely. See, I was up here talking while I was muted. But yeah, that is some great advice. So you all actually addressed a 4th question, which was regarding tips and tricks about Twitter. So that's phenomenal. But just really quickly, let's just go over. Let me share my screen. Going to go over this week's challenges really quickly. So we still have the challenges up from last week. Each one of them went down 1 point, but you can still do them. We still love the blog post and all of that great stuff. And you can even do some of the flip ones for points. But this week we're going to have some new challenges. The first one would be participating in a Twitter chat and writing a brief reflection. So let me get on my screen over here. So Twitter chat reflection worth 5 points. So it doesn't have to be elaborate. Doesn't have to be a thesis. Just a couple sentences about what chat it was, what was discussed, etc. Things of that nature. Also, we have a hashtag GEGDMV. So if you use that hashtag, at least 3 times this week and share out some information, then that will also get you 5 points. Also, if the third one would be to curate and share a Twitter list of interesting people to follow. So maybe some people who you recommend for different things, like let's say you're really into flipping or you're really into Maker, just make like a list, and I've attached a video in the showcase. The very first video at the top of the showcase will teach you how to make a Twitter list. So if you make that list and you share it in a group, you can also get 5 points. Now, there was one challenge from last week. It was a Voxer lottery raffle. So are y'all ready to see who's a winner from that? Panel, y'all excited? All right. So here we go. We had 4 entries.
My mic is on. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see who's going to get these 7 points here. Oh, we have Carla! Congratulations to Carla. Yeah, this is just your week. And she stepped away for a second to check on dinner. But I'm sure that she'll be very happy that she won the 7 points. So this Voxer raffle will still be open next week too. If you want to join in, then just go ahead and sign up on a little form. I think it's tagged to the week 3 post, and we'll do it again every week for 7 points. So yay. So in closing, I just want to go down the line. Do any of you have your favorite Twitter chat, as well as any closing comments that you'd like to share? Let's start. Let me see. Let's start with Alicia.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, my microphone's getting wonky. My 2 major favorite chats are Flip Class, which is Monday nights, and the Edmodo chat. I'm a huge Edmodo proponent, so I follow them religiously. But those are my 2 favorite chats. I get a lot out of those group chats.
Very, very nice. What about you, Ashley?
Oh, this is such a hard question. Only 2? Only 2?
You can give as many as you want.
We don't have time for that part. Every chat on Cybrarian Man's page, but I have to say I've got, okay, I'll say 4. I like Text EDU chat that happens on Sunday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I like 21st Ed chat that happens at 8 o'clock on Sunday nights Eastern Standard Time. I like Breakfast Club. That's a new chat. It happens on Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 5:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a 1-question, 15-minute chat. It's a great positive way to start the day. And then we have in our district CMS K-12 chat, but it's open to the whole world. But no, I actually have to give What is School a shout out too. 7 o'clock Thursday nights. A great global chat between America and Australia. I can keep going. You got to stop me now. Somebody interrupt me because I could keep going.
Keep going. Bring them on.
Just go to Cybrarian Man's official education Twitter chat page because they're all phenomenal. I hate to say I don't want to leave any out because we've got Reflect Ed chat that just started. It's slow chat that is great throughout the week. I mean, there's so many great ones out there, and I feel remiss to name some and not others because I love the personalization of it all, that you can pick what you need and you can go and you can get it at any time. And so I think anybody that's taking time to moderate a chat, take part and join in and share resources, they're all great chats to me.
Absolutely. And Carla is back. Carla, while you were gone, you just won 7 points in our Voxer lottery. So woo!
What?
Yes. So we're just closing out. So if you just want to say maybe a few of the chats that you like to participate in, and if you have any other closing comments.
I love Flip Class, of course. Because I flip my classroom. We have, in South Carolina, we have SC Ed, that's on Sundays at 9. And T-Lab, Teach Like a Pirate chat, which is, wait a minute, is that Monday or Tuesdays? I don't know, they all blur together for me, so I have alerts on my phone so that I can remember when to participate. Sat Chat, West Coast, because I can't get up early enough for East Coast. And and I think that's it. So, but if I see something flying through that interests me, I always jump in. I recommend everybody, do that. Everybody's always so open for you to share and participate. So, I absolutely love Twitter. It is the place where I can find pretty much an immediate answer to any question I have. So I recommend for anyone who's watching that's not on to get on and just, people are so supportive. I had, when I first started, I had a Twitter mentor who kind of guided me through the process. as to what to do. So definitely, it is awesome.
Fantastic, fantastic. What about you, Charity?
Well, a lot of the ones that were already mentioned. I love TLAP. I love Edmodo Chat. I can't even think of the other ones. So the other one that I had mentioned earlier was Smarty, which is Smart EE, and that's just all things. And it's not actually all things smart. I say that. It's a lot of people who are very involved with smart technologies, Notebook, but we also have chats that are just about tools that we use in our classroom, or flipping the classroom, or we're getting ready to do one on global citizenship, or literacy, digital citizenship, all that kind of stuff. And I love just happening upon chats. Like sometimes when I have time, I just kind of let my home feed go through and read what's going on. And I think it was last Sunday I ran into Aussie ED, AUSSIEED, so Aussie Ed. So yeah, so that was great because they're global, working on the whole global citizenship thing too. So it was cool to connect with some Australians on that. So I don't do too many that I do all the time. I like to jump in and out of different ones.
Absolutely. Variety is a spice of life. So what about you, Dr. Will?
I don't really do chats. They interfere with my TV night. So I really watch TV at night. And while we were at Twitter, at ISTE, I know they had that little coffee thing at like 5 in the morning, and I'm like, hey, this is ISTE. I'm not up at 5 in the morning. But I do say that one of the chats that if you are working on your dissertation, PhD chat is the one I recommend because they do have these chats on Lit Review and research methodologies, et cetera, and also a great resource to sort of tweet out and find information you need at different processes you are in your dissertation.
I love that, and I kind of wish that somebody would make a PhD Voxer group. That would be something cool as well. that would definitely bring me in. But a few of them that I definitely wanted to mention as well. I'm going to be checking out CA Ed Chat tonight at 11 p.m. Usually it's kind of late for me, but it's a topic that I definitely want to look into, so I'm going to be joining that one. Got to give a shout out to Doug, the Weird Teacher with Weird Ed. It's always a good one. Gwyn Chat, which is a new one on Wednesday nights. Carla just put in the comments, NT2T, New Teachers to Twitter, which is on Saturday mornings. Also, Level Up Ed, which is a great one on gamification on Thursdays at 9 p.m. And Rural Ed, which is done by our good friend Tammy. Ashley, do you know what night that is?
Monday. Tuesday night, I think, 8:30 to 9:30.
Okay, Tuesday night, 8:30 to 9:30.
I think. I'm not positive.
Okay. Yeah, so just check the hashtag and, we'll if you're interested in those. So there's a bunch of great ones on there. Maryland.
Oh, Sarah, Charity wrote Aussie Ed. Did you guys say that one? Did I miss it? Because that is a fantastic one, too. Our friends from Australia do a phenomenal job.
Oh, nice. Aussie Ed. I'm going to have to check that one out as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. So just like Ashley was saying, there's so many great ones out there that I'm sure that even with all of our great minds, we probably left a few of them out, but definitely check Cyberman's list. So I wanted to thank the panel. Thank you all so much for taking the time out to join us today and talking about Twitter.
Yay!
Woohoo! And thank you to everybody for watching. Be sure to fill out the Voxer lottery. So next week the big winner could be you. So everybody take it easy. See you next week. Have a great one.
You too.